Have you ever felt like no one is leading your child's education plan? One case officer leaves just as you start to build trust, another steps in, but nothing moves forward. Emails go unanswered, everyone's pointing fingers, and you're left holding the pieces, emotionally drained, legally confused, and wondering, isn't this supposed to be a team effort? You're told there are legal duties like assessments and reviews under legislation, but what happens when that duty is ignored? It leaves you asking, why am I the one holding everything together? Advocating relentlessly, showing up day after day, while wondering if anyone else truly sees the consequences. So in this video, I'll look at why a lack of clear leadership in your child's education plan causes harm. And I'll highlight 5 key areas where there's clearly no lead professional or coordinated plan supporting your child's education and well-being. And most importantly, how you stay empowered and ready to advocate, even when no one else is taking the lead. My name is Brenda and I'm a parent mentor and a fellow parent. I support parents raising children with individual needs and differences to stay empowered whilst they navigate through procedural challenges. And on my journey of advocating for my son who is living with autism and ADHD whilst navigating mainstream education, I experienced firsthand the breakdown in leadership from professionals such as SENCO's head teachers and local authority officers, leading me to highlight 5 key areas where professionals fail to act, with the first area being the failure to provide timely assessments. Delays in psychological, health or educational assessments leave your child unsupported. Without updated insights, professionals rely on outdated or vague information, which weakens the EHCP and delays essential support. This isn't just a missed deadline, this can be the difference between progress and crisis. Another area is where there's a mismatch between provision and services. When it becomes clear that there is a mismatch between a child's needs and the current provision, it's often the result of inaction long before the situation reaches this point. Your child might be in a school offering lots of subjects, but still lacks basic sensory support to stay regulated. When needs aren't matched with the right provision, the child becomes overwhelmed, dysregulated, and misunderstood. This isn't defiance, this is unmet need, and it should never have been allowed to escalate this far. The failure to act to accommodate therapies, provide sensory support or make reasonable adjustments can turn a manageable need into a crisis that could have been prevented. Another key area that highlights a lack of action is the lack of detail in an EHCP. A vague EHCP with no clarity on frequency, duration is practically unenforceable, despite any concerns that we may raise. But a plan that lacks detail is a plan that will fail a child. And another key area that highlights a lack of action is when there is refusal to acknowledge or provide one-to-one support. When suggested behaviour issues are observed, but no support is added, it's often because schools are using a provision-led model, offering what's available rather than what's needed. And this approach contravenes the law and clearly puts children at a disadvantage. Another key area that highlights a lack of action is there is misinterpreting behaviour as defiance. This is where sanctions increase, reports pile up, but no one's asking what the underlying issue is. This allows behaviour to be pathologised instead of understood. When support isn't adapted and needs aren't reassessed, children are punished for expressing distress. When no action is taken to apply a holistic, needs-led approach and the behaviour isn't proactively supported through positive strategies or updated planning, the child is left at a significant disadvantage. So what happens when there's no lead? Well, you end up being the project manager, the advocate, the only one holding the process accountable. The delays continue, communication breaks down, trust disappears, and your child struggles emotionally, socially, and academically. And when no one takes the lead, the burden of holding everything together falls on us, creating confusion, delays, and unmet needs. Our child's learning environment becomes overwhelming, and we begin to notice their distress. Perhaps they start to withdraw or shut down, but still no adjustments are made. The HCP remains vague, with no clear mention of therapies, accommodations, or tailored support. And even when the issues become obvious, nothing changes. The danger comes when we're left making impossible decisions, perhaps to remove our children from school, not because we want to, because staying feels more damaging. And still, the delays continue, often caused by staff leaving or shifted responsibilities, and communication is unclear, the emails go unanswered, and we're just left unsure of who to turn to. Trust breaks down, and without trust, collaboration becomes impossible. We may be offered a list of unsuitable options, not because they meet our child's needs, but because they're the only choices left. So we settle for the least worst scenario just to provide something even more harmful. Meanwhile, a child is left to struggle, disengage, dysregulate, and continue to be misunderstood. And in all of this, we then become the anchor. So what can we do? When no one takes the lead, we have to. Not because it's easy, because it's our voice, our presence, and our persistence that can shift the narrative. Caseworkers will change, teachers will move on. Our advocacy is not just helpful, it's essential. Staying in power doesn't mean never feeling overwhelmed. It means continuing to show up even when the process tries to wear us down. And when we advocate, we're not being difficult, we're being necessary. And if working with a mentor sounds like it could work for you, why not contact me? The information is in the description box below. So if you found this video helpful, why not give it a like or share with any other parents that you may feel may find this information useful. But for now, keep doing what you're doing, stay focused, stay empowered, and keep creating progress.